Oh, oh, hello there. Didn't see you come in. Hmm. Well, starting a little late, but that's because everything is slow. And the chat dock is not behaving itself as usual. Just turn it off and on again a few times. Hmm. I do wonder if maybe there's another way to refresh that dock. I figured if I actually checked, all I remember is turning it off and on again is the way to go. What was I meant to open? Magnificent magnifier. No, I don't think I would describe it as magnificent, actually. Alrighty. Not that you can see that yet. What you can see is this task list here. And can I see it? If I can figure out where my cursor's gone. Yeah, so I'm still going with getting the UI behavior for the routine nodes going, for the command bots. So I have a way to add some nodes. I stayed up way too late last time and got go to and label like buttons working to add those. And I haven't tackled each action type and so on. But I think I'll do this next. Just regenerate the go-to buttons when the routine loads, because otherwise you won't have the right set of buttons when you load a routine. So I think that makes sense. So I don't know why I've got some breakpoints here, but you can't see that until I click over here. There we are. Oh yeah, let me get that chat dock back up as well. I do have chatty open, so I should hear if I get a message and I can reply on there if this isn't working, but it seems to be working now. So I'll just try and run this, see where, confirm where it's up to. Yeah, so basically I dealt with some issues where I had these output connections doing something wrong. It was more to do with like caching. Yeah, so the version of the node with this with no connections was the base for that, and also the base for this because it wasn't updating properly, and so that meant that plugging in this one, like the second one, would wipe out the first one, and then I guess plugging in that one would wipe out the other two, perhaps. So that's all solved, and we've got these. Oh yeah, so you can see at the moment I've got a like labeled A, and like that's a go-to A. That's an infinite loop, I guess. That should probably be illegal. Maybe make a note of that. Because that's going to cause problems potentially. There's a bug. There. That's what I want. Don't allow labels to plug into their go-to nodes. There we go. Yeah, because basically, if you go start A, plug in go to A, that's just not going to do anything. It'll just keep flipping around among those. I'm not sure. Not sure what the downside of that is. Like other than that, if you do that, then it can just never actually go anywhere. Bad bad user experience, though, so it shouldn't be allowed. All right. So now that's updated. Back to this, regenerate the go-to buttons on routine load. So basically, if I hit this button, we're going to get label B, and they're just getting created in the middle of there at the moment. And see, oh, that mustn't have saved properly. So I did solve that. It's just the panel down here overlapping these buttons. But anyway, the buttons are created and I just can't click on them because of the panel, so I'll fix that. But you can see I can make this label D, and we've got a go to D that we can make, but I can't make a new go to A. So that's the problem there. So I'll just fix that. First, I'll fix up that panel issue. So I had these buttons here, and then this panel here is overlapping that. And I think putting that right there solves it. And then putting that there probably gives me round numbers. Top is at 120. This has a height of 120. So yes, perfect. Really? Negative 59.99997? What happened to good old negative 60? What number have we got here? 1.5258 something times 10 to the negative 5. Pretty sure that that's approximately this value, 0. It just doesn't want to go with 0. So that's just like a floating point arithmetic calculation issue where it's probably not storing it as that exactly. It's computing it somehow. All right. So that should solve that thing with the buttons being overlapped. But yeah, when that routine is loading up, it's not got the things that we want. So routine graph manager is the thing that's loading up the routine. And what we've got happening, so that this is what is backing those buttons. I apparently have some commented out old stuff in update. Well, this is what happens when you load. It just sets the selected routine to a clone of the saved one. And it does clear nodes and draw routine. And that's to load. So draw routine is, I guess, our thingy. I'm just going to run this again. Generate the UI. So I'm going to go here and just add some labels, and then I'm going to save. Now I'm going to load, and that's making no change to that, which is not surprising. Oh yeah, and these, when they're getting dropped, don't set their position properly. I thought it fixed that. But I guess not. So I'll put it on the list of things to fix. Yeah. So we'll just Save added nodes to the correct position. Okay, so but this is the one I'm on right now, so I'll just put the old beard face on there. Now, I have to excuse me, I've got fairly sensitive cough right now. So I will try to be fast on the mute button. But you might get a bit of coughing in your face ASMR. Just for fun. Especially if I eat another Oreo. Berry Choc Top flavour. That reminds me of Berry Choc Tops at the cinema. Definitely one of my more favourite things to do. Go watch a good movie. Have a Choc Top. So on. The good old days when I had time to go and do that. It might just be the labels that are created in the wrong place. There's label G. Save that routine. Now load it. There. It's just labels. I must have fixed it for GoTo. Anyway. Regenerating these buttons here. So basically, when clear nodes, I think I'm just going to make another thing. Clear GoTo buttons or something. Clear dynamic buttons. Let's collapse this and create an after action. Okay, and we'll just give that a return type so that it actually looks like a function signature. I'll give it void instead of coid, since it doesn't seem to know what that is. Not too surprising, since nor do I. I have hopefully washed all of the tea out of my mechanical keyboard, but I've just got it getting filtered air blown through it. It should be dry by now, but just give it some more time, just in case. So I'm using my little old keyboard, so I'm going to be hitting some wrong keys. I usually do, but I'm going to be hitting more than usual. So yeah, we basically just want to like remove all the and GoTo buttons, and then probably like remove other buttons, button types if when they're not implemented yet. Just label and GoTo, but you can always add a label, so that's not going to be removed. Yeah, this cough is really annoying. It's the kind where if I take a deep breath, I feel like coughing. It probably means I should make a note to go see a doctor in the next couple of days if it doesn't improve. Because pneumonia is not very fun. There's been a lot of smoke around these parts lately. All right. So, how can I tell? These buttons. Okay, so I've got. I'm just going to pause that for a minute. the node palette is where I've got the buttons. And I go do them by name. Add go to node button clone is what they'll all be called. But we've got this add go to node button script. So that's probably the best way. So we'll just need to get that node palette. Do we have a reference to that somewhere? Has it got its own? It doesn't have its own script right now. We've just got this button that links to add label node. So, and then, yeah, I guess I haven't really needed its own script so far. Well, I'll script this in here for the moment. And actually, I should have, if I just get some of these things out of the way. It's not there. Here we go, add label node. So that adds it. Yeah, that's figuring out the correct letter to use. And we're instantiating the label node prefab there. That's here. We got a go to button instantiate, add go to prefab node palette. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's the node palette. So that dot get components in children, and we're going to be getting add go to node button components, and just that's the go to buttons. Just give that the correct type. Oh, or are you not even suggesting that? Am I hitting the wrong thing? Add go to node button array sounds right. All right, so we've got our go to buttons, and we just want to remove them. I'll just do it for each button and go to buttons. We'll do yeah, destroy immediate. It's fine. Well, strongly recommended to use destroy instead. Yes, I think destroy will do. I'm not in a big hurry. And yeah, button.getObject is what I want. I probably don't even need a block for that. Probably just put that there. And then that should get rid of those. That should be one half of it done. So that's getting rid of the buttons. And now I need to get them back. So we clear the nodes and the buttons, and then we're going to draw the routine and add dynamic buttons. That's going to be, I think, maybe eerily similar to this other thing. All right. So what are we going to do here? It's going to be same thing about the node palette. It's going to be similar to the label node like this. Part of it. And it's got the node palette already, don't need that. And the other thing is going to be, I've got this label ID. See, those things don't need. Okay, I might pull some of this out of here because this is basically, we've got like our next label going through all of the nodes in the routine. And basically, whatever letter it's up to, and whatever letter it finds, if that's later than the one it already had, it'll set it to the letter after that one. So that's probably relevant. Do I need anything else? So it's just stringing that. So pretty much this whole thing is getting the next label ID for a routine. Yes, extract a method called get next label ID for routine. Which the routine actually has internally a ID that keeps track of the next node ID it's going to use. I could do the same thing for labels and not have to search through like this. But I think this will do for now. It'll get the job done. Okay, so now we got a way to get our label. Oh, do you want it to? Well, I mean, it's for the selected routine. Just feels like it would be better if selected routine was passed in. So I should be able to just add that parameter. And then just rename this. No, I did hit the right key, but I'm in the wrong IDE for that key shortcut. Just call it routine. Okay, so that was something we didn't need. That is not needed anymore. And this is inlineable. And that's fine. Okay, so now I've got this. And I'm trying to do that. So I need label ID. It's just going to be the selected routine. I didn't have to pass routine in, but it just feels like that's going to make this more versatile for potentially being able to generate buttons for some other routine if needed. Okay, so I'm making a button, I'm getting the label ID for that button. Not using that anywhere else, so I'll inline that. And I'm not using that anywhere else either, so maybe I'll just inline that as well. Okay, and that's not actually what I need to do. That's adding a that's adding a go-to button for the label, the next label that I would create that I'm not creating here. So that is not actually not actually what I need to do. Oh well, it doesn't hurt to have that logic pulled out. But no, actually what I need to do is like this. And I'm not doing anything with returning a label character. What I'm doing here is, this is when I need to create something. So I'll just start with this. And I'll just use selected routine here. Okay, so we're going through the selected routine, and for each node that is a label node, then this is getting the character from label ID. Let's do that. So we'll have like a string instead of a character. We don't need to compare anything because we're not trying to figure out what we need. We're just trying to draw that. So that's not what we want to do. We don't need that. Just the label ID. And pop this up here. There. I think that might be it. So pretty much go through all the nodes. If it's a label node, grab its ID. And not do that. Just use that label ID. A bit weird having this inlined like this, but does work. I mean, it should work, I think. We're just not getting a reference to what we're instantiating, and that's probably fine, because I think they'll get automatically laid out anyway. So that should be it. And then here is where we would add like action buttons based on the available actions or that kind of thing. There. All right, so I'll just stop that, let it build and run it and see how it goes. Busy for 18 seconds. Oh, that's a good time to have a bit of tea. I need to rearrange this desk. I have like a laptop there. It stops me from being able to move my mouse around as much as I'd like to. Other laptop over here. And way too many sticky notes still. I have not reduced the number since I was last complaining about that. Complaining is a strong word. But yeah, the count of sticky notes has only increased. Okay, that's compiled. Let's do this. Oh, right. Shifting this down has moved that. I might make that a bit taller. Doesn't matter, that's just like a hard-coded thing. So clearly we're not getting that there. But let's say we save this routine that has the A label. And then we load it. Yeah, now we've got to go to A. Let's add B and C. There they are. We'll save that. Now, add some more. So I've got all these buttons. If I now load that routine, yeah, now it's just got those. So that is working. It's done. Except on initial load. So what's going on there? Because we should have A. So I'm calling clear nodes and I'm manually drawing all these things. So what's this looping through? Just looping through each position. And then I think at that point we'll probably have all of our nodes ready. So do I even need to do all of this? Let's see, we're choosing a prefab. Yeah. We're instantiating the prefab. And then we basically just got this routine here that we're updating the nodes on. And we got this unique ID. And then we're looking up the node. In order to basically set that node in there. I think we can get away with not doing a lot of that. I think we need this bit to create the routine. And I think we maybe don't need to do any of that. That is not the right key shortcut in this IDE. Okay, so keep the switch. So we don't need to I already commented out instantiating that, didn't I? Yeah. So the routine, we shouldn't need to look up that node because we're only using it to set it in that UI, which we don't have anymore. So we don't need that. So I think unique ID is not going to be read by anything. So I can get rid of it. And so let's comment that one out. Then all of these, just adding a node. Don't need to worry about what ID. And the reason I'm doing all this is because I can just call draw routine now. And that'll get this working. Well, not just draw routine actually. The whole shebang. There. So now I've got this new routine. And what's happening with new routine? Selected routine equals new routine. So yeah, I'm making that the selected routine. Do we need the start node now? Just to set the position on that. I'll remove a lot of that commented out code sometime soon. But okay, it's calling clear nodes, but I think we're doing more than that on in here, load routine. Yeah, so I think load routine probably is the way to go. I think I'll pull out this stuff. Hang on, I'll just do routine equals this slot here. There. Now I've got something that I can basically just put that into a method. There we go, so I can load any routine with that. So then that calls select a routine equals routine, then we can clear things and draw things back. Cool. Right, so then here, after all of this stuff, with the positions, I now just have this new routine. Don't need to do that. Oh, yeah, that's also something. Yeah, so after that is all done, I can just call load routine with my new routine. And we should be all good. By which I mean now the initial load should get the routine in the correct position. What? Routine graph editor. Height 7. That feels weird. Just because of the number of pixels here. That is approximately it's like 1 and a bit units. I'm just looking to increase the height of this by a bit. That seems maybe sufficient. Panel here. I guess that seems exactly that amount. And then we've got this thing here with a height of 120. And this thing here with a top of 120. So yep, that's all adjusted now. Because like this stuff down here is not going to be relevant once this is fully done. So the layout of this panel is not very important right now. It's just getting the actual routine working. So let's see that working. And what am I even doing now? So I think I got that. Yeah, so I think that that's working now. Yeah, so we've got our go to A, but we've still got this save and load and the added label goes to the wrong place, but the other things don't. So add label node is clearly missing something that add goto node has. So we've got pos equals container.position, and when we're adding a node, position equals pos. I'm instantiating it at pos. Alright, so what's label node doing? Pos equals container.position. Instantiate at pos container. Position equals pos. Okay. That's weird. It's weird that one of those works and the other one doesn't, even though they seem to be doing the same thing. Let's see. Pos equals container.position. I'm pretty sure I copy pasted this to get it working. Instantiate. Which prefab pos container identity container. Okay, we're just calling add node, new routine node type. Label, go to position pos, label ID. Okay, and then we've got our create a node. Select a routine, get node by unique ID. Yep, routine node UI equals get component routine node UI. Yes, routine node UI dot routine node equals create node. That all looks very exactly the same as this. So very strange that the only difference between these is that one goes on to instantiate a button. Is there any difference between those prefabs that would matter? There's a label node. It's got a few things on there, mainly this bit. Okay, and then the go-to node. I can't really see anything here that would cause anything like that. But presumably what I've got is nodes in a routine. So let's just jump in here. Add a label, add a go to A and go to B. Save that. And then I'll load that up. And okay. It looks like all of these are having the problem. So, okay, that's less confusing now. Had I actually moved the other ones that I saw working? Anyway, what's an example of a position and what is container.position? So this here is the container. It seems to have left 0, top 120, and so on. So these are all ending up over here. could be related somehow to that. Now, what about this A here? That's probably that one there. I don't know there. All right. Let's see. Yes, that is that one. So what's its position look like? It's pretty much 0. That's near enough to 0. It's about 0, 0. Now I'll do a save and a load. Now we'll have a new node that is the equivalent. And its position now is 450 and 290. I wonder if that's like the absolute position of that. Okay, so we've got so these are the kind of positions that I'm setting these things at. So these are clearly just small numbers. So these are world units. Okay, and that container position presumably also in world coordinates. But what is it about click and drag? No, that's not the right way to do that. Draggable icon is what I want. So basically, I'm doing something and use pointer drag position. Get drag pos from center. This thing's really flaky, so I'll probably stop doing that. But this is the one. Yeah, so I'm basically getting a screen to world point of where the cursor is, making sure that Z is not being changed. And then I return that. Yeah, I'm just going to add a bit of logging in here. So I'm going to add the label node. Let's grab some info here. Just get the let's get pos.x. Actually, can I just do? I just have pos like that a second. Look okay. I'll just log all this down here after that's all done. So I've got everything. So container. Container position is that. this is the instantiated position, I guess. Wait a minute, when I load the routine, when I draw the routine, yeah, I'm getting each node, and at some point I'll be getting their position of the node. Set the Z position correctly, and yes, the position that we're storing here is added to the container position. So that basically means whatever the position of this container is, which is right there, that's a vector from 0, 0, I think it's just there, to there, and so we're just doubling that vector up there. So the position I need to be setting is actually from here to here. From here to where the thing is. I was about to say I need to subtract the container position, and that would just put it at 0, 0. Which is fine. That would solve the thing. There was my add label node. There. That's the wrong thing. Minus. There we go. So that should get it sorted. And where's my add go to? Just here. Same thing there. I think that fixes that. It'd be nice to set up some code that stops me from doing that with every other type of button as well. But oh well. I really should be making sure these positions are relative to the container, or yeah, to the container as well, because otherwise moving the panel would make all of the any saved routines sort of show up in the wrong place. It won't be much of a big deal once I put them on a scroll area and have that able to be moved around. Okay, so testing that these created nodes, when I save and load, there, they are now in the correct place. Right there, not up there anymore, good. Oh, that button also is in the wrong place, the close button. Again, not a very big deal. Close button. Well, it's based on the center, that's why it should be based on up in that corner. And then negative 24.8 something, hey? All right, yeah, because we've got 39. What is it? 39. Can make it 40 square. And make it negative 25. And negative 25. There we go. All right, that was not on my list. Save them to the correct position is. Okay, action type nodes. Well, Just better have some more of this tea before it runs out. Put it there so I can spill it on my other keyboard. There we go, action node. Okay, what do we need for an action node? I'm just going to have a look in my start. Oh, my start is collapsed. That's why I wasn't seeing it. Inside this for each. I'm just going to get rid of all that stuff. Not using it. I already built stuff off that. Okay, that's the end of that T. Now, when I get these action nodes, node type dot action. They each have a robot actions dot something. So basically, okay. So I think this will be a lot like a go-to node. We'll have a position. We'll instantiate it with a different prefab. Hold on, I'll just grab that whole thing. Go like that. I'll use the action node prefab instead. Don't care about label ID on this. So that should be all right. That'll be action. And so that needs its here. Action equals action, very sensible. Definitely a tautology, but not really because these represent different things, even though they're spelled the same. So, yep, that looks correct. So now, how am I actually going to get this action passed in? Because what I've got on that go-to node, the add go-to node button, which needs a bit of cleanup. So there's the create, and that's the label ID that we get. So when we create the button, it'll use whatever label ID was set on it, which I believe is set in here on add label node. Basically get our button and set the label ID on it. So that's how that one's working. So do I want to, now when we're adding those dynamic nodes, yeah, add dynamic buttons, I mean, then we could do action nodes. Robot actions. Can you iterate an enum? I think what I want is like it's in or off. But I want something like enum dot get values. For that. So we get all the values in that enum. That's the type. Something like that. So now we should get each robot action if I've done that right. Whoops. Don't want a robot action. One of these things. I mean, we don't want an object. We want that. So now it's unnecessary right now. So we've got a routine now. But it's really, it'll be the blueprint that determines what actions are actually possible. So for now, I think I just create all of them, and then it's a bit like what's happening on this palette here. Anything that's not available is grayed out, or slightly reddish grayed out, darkened and reddened. So yeah, I should just be able to instantiate from something that doesn't exist yet. Cool. So I think I'll find the thing. Nodes groups. Node palette. Ah, yeah, there we go. Add go to node button. I'll just duplicate that. Apparently duplicating those in the butt, so I'll just create a new one. There, add action node button. And I'll be able to make a prefab that has that on it. So there's that action node button. Here is add go to node button. And this is going to be pretty similar, I think. So I'll kind of just copy that out of there and then change what I want to. We probably label. Probably also that button, which is from here. This will just rename that to create action node. And it could just be create node, and I wouldn't have to rename it, but doesn't really matter. So now we're going to call routine graph manager, but not with that. It'll be add action node, and we're going to get the action. I'm going to actually put label ID here. The reason I'm going to do that is because then I'm going to change the type on this to be robot actions. Also that type there. And I guess we can just default it to whatever default action is. Walk forward will do. And then I can rename it. Here's the action. And rename that as well. I'll call it action 2 because I renamed this one wrong. Capital A on that for the property. And then we can use the lowercase a there. Which is just a convention. But the point was I had the exact same name for that, and that was bad. Okay. Yes. So that's great. Now I just need to do the thing where I actually set an action in this thing. So that'll be back over here. And oh yeah, I don't have an add action prefab. So let me just grab that, put one of these in there. So that's based on a prefab, but let's unprefab that. Unpack it completely. Customizing it. And whatever action. Yeah, that's what we'll show here. I've got this add go to node button script. Just add that. Like instead, compile errors. Oh man. Oh, I'm trying to make the prefab to put there. Well. I'll just comment that out, and that will be valid. Just as soon as the compiler is finished doing its thing. All right. So we want that instead. And it can have its text. And it can have its button, which is self. And why did I do that? Is it because I was tired? We just want the button. Yeah, I guess it's just instead of looking up the button component. Cool, so I don't need this go-to one in there anymore. Remove that. And then I will make this into a prefab of its very own. And now I should be ready to go to here and make a slot to put that prefab in. Okay, that's all the node prefabs. If I put the others down here somewhere or something like that. Add go to prefab. Yeah, here it is. Let's do serialized field. Add action node button. There we go, we've got add action prefab. Now I can go to that place where it was complaining before. I got that name the same, so that's good. What do I do next? Same thing, that add label node. Wait, what's down here? Add dynamic buttons. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, so add label, we instantiate it, and we just literally do dot label ID, so that's fine. I'll do the same type of thing. And we'll just do a variable here called foo, which should be of the correct type. Yep. We'll call this button, because it is the button that was instantiated. Button.action is equal to robot action. There. That should be enough to set up that button. And I think there's something else I need to do on there to make the label work. Yeah. Now that value might be, let's see if that works. That might work. It probably will, even though they're represented as a number under the hood, so to speak. Well, I hope that works, because just get rid of that one there. It doesn't need to be there because it's dynamic. Oh yeah, dynamic. Okay, just quickly clear dynamic buttons. We need to do the same thing as this, and same thing as this, except these will be action buttons. And that'll be that. So that becomes that. And there. That just needs to be this. I could totally inline this to here, but that would not be great for readability. Alright. Let's load this up, see it working. I'm getting tired and it's near my finish time, so good time to just see that working. And check it off the list. And then I can come in fresh next time with decision nodes, which will be interesting. Okay. Oh, am I calling it dynamic buttons? I am from load routine. Ah, got it. Probably got an error here too. I forgot to put that prefab where it needs to go. Routine graph editor. I'm missing that, the add action prefab. This, oh yeah, that's still selected, good. There we go. That's all it takes. Also going to make sure I save my scene in my project because Unity shut without doing that before and I had to redo something, which is not very good to have to do. All right. What am I doing? This is the button I want. Yep, this is where it's time for me to get some sleep. That, and it'll probably help to clear this cough. Getting some actual sleep. Okay, these are clearly not big enough to fit, but it looks like we've got a walk forward, shoot laser, turn left, turn right, block long, and malfunction, which is not an action that you're supposed to on purpose do. That's just what happens if you see an enemy, then just like go weird. Yeah, so we do want most of those, but if the robot action is equal to malfunction, then what do we want to do? Just like continue. I think that's right. To break out of a for each loop. We'll just see if that works. And I think I can also make the buttons wider so they'll fit. Or maybe the text smaller. So we've got a grid layout, cell size 160 by 40. So, oh hey, what do we got? Ronick 76, I believe that says. Looks like it. Hello, you caught me just when I was going to finish up because I'm getting really tired. But also, yeah, so you get to see the in progress with slightly more finished features product. Let's just make that 240. Hopefully that'll fit most things. So I don't know if you're familiar with what I've been working on, but I've basically got this game, which is a prototype of a game where you have factories that make robots. You design your robots, and they'll be manufactured in the factory. Let's make one with a shield just for fun. these are the budget legs, so they're cheaper. Haven't got anything actually telling you about that yet. Cheaper means they'll build faster. So we've got hit points, energy, and metal on the factory, and the blue bar down the bottom. Oh, cool. Well, welcome to coding in Unity. Don't feel intimidated if you see something confusing, because there are layers and layers and layers of stuff, and nobody knows everything. But yeah, even though I'm planning to finish up pretty soon, always happy to answer questions if you've got them, or yeah, just sort of happy with anything along those lines. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep using Unity, actually, because I had a little bit of a go with Godot, and there was one thing I really liked about it that sort of changes the equation a lot, and that's just being able to reload, like update a script without having to wait for a compile step, without having to stop the game running, and so on. So, but I haven't used Godot enough to really get a solid idea about how it's going to be. Anyway, this basic concept. So I've got the factory making robots. So they've designed them with the blueprint, the little blue bar down the bottom that's partially obscured by the selection indicator there is the progress on building them. And then at the moment, they're only running with this linear routine. So they can't turn right or left because they've got the budget legs. So I'll get rid of those. They're just going to be walking forward. What are we up against? We're up against regular laser and shield guys. And they're doing laser then block. So I could probably combat these guys by doing maybe... I'll just do like a single move. I'll do like a long block. And several lasers. Let's see if that does anything. I've got to walk forward to get out of the way of the next one. So, yeah, you're basically trying to come up with something that'll combat what's going on over here, but you can have them sort of moving to the other side, etc. I've got a lot of ideas that I haven't gotten close to implementing, like having something that can paint lines and then other things can follow the lines. That kind of deal. I don't know how competitive this is going to be. Oh, bad timing with when it walked forward there. There, long block, having them walk into your shield is a good strategy. But anyway, what I've been working on though is this new, instead of that linear routine where, I don't know if I selected a robot while I was doing its thing. So we're going to have a robot in a moment. So you can't change the routine once they spawn, but you can see they just go through the routine. Well, you could see if it didn't get blown up. There we go. Here's another one. Let's hope it survives a bit longer. So it does a long block, walks forward, fires the laser 3 times in a row, and then it would just loop around through that. So quite simplistic. But the new one, much different from that, but it's not actually hooked up to anything yet. So you basically wire the whole thing up with behavior, including decision nodes. So you could pretty much say, okay, if you sense an enemy, and you can see in the blueprint editor, which is behind here. I've got to select a factory to get the blueprint. You can see there's spaces here that I haven't used yet for sensors, and there's like a slot there for the backpack. But it's pretty much just legs and arm attachments right now, just a few, just to get the system working. So, yeah, the idea is you can sort of have it, it'll start here, and then if there's an enemy, then it might have different behavior depending on your hit points. So if your hit points are below, equal to, or greater than 25, or 60 or whatever, So now I've just added more of these buttons. So I actually have the action buttons I didn't have before. And these are just kind of created by a sample script. But let's say we're doing it from here and we want to shoot the laser if our hit points are high and we see an enemy. Yeah, like medium or high. And otherwise, maybe we just want to do a long block when we sense the enemy. And if we don't sense an enemy, then we probably want to just walk forward. And then anything that's not plugged in, when it reaches that, it'll just go back to the start. But if you don't want to go back to the start, then you can add one of these labels, which I've already got one created here. Let me get that other stuff out of the way. Yeah, so you can basically put a label somewhere, like if there's no enemy, then we'll start this little routine here. If I plug that in there, then it'll just go to A, and so it'll just keep walking forward forever. Not a very sensible routine, but so it illustrates the point. Probably the main use case for that would be you've got your start, you've got some stuff that you do, like maybe you walk forward 5 times. I haven't got any sort of loop construct other than the go-to. So I'm not trying to create a complete programming language here. There we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you walk forward 5 times, and then you get to label A. So that kind of marks the spot in the routine. And then that goes to sensing the enemy. Put that over there. And so then you can have all of these things go to A. Or I can get another go to A button, or button node. Another go to A node to use over here. If I want to keep it neater or something. So yeah, that's the basic idea. And I don't actually know if that needs to, well, that doesn't necessarily have to plug into A because it could go there. I don't have a way to delete these yet. That's something to add. Actually, do I have it in the list here? I don't think so. Yeah. Allow deleting nodes from the routine. That shouldn't be too difficult. But yeah, I've done each action type. And the decision nodes, which is the regular decisions and the ones with the threshold, this adjustable one. Yeah, I'm probably just, they're not actually hooked up to anything yet because I haven't implemented the enemy sensor or they do have hit points, but I haven't hooked it up to anything where it would read it from there. Yeah, that's just a little thing. I think that's less relevant than there. Yeah, so that's interesting. Because then, yeah, they could kind of start out the routine with their initial thing, and then they go to another part of it and do that. And if you don't hook it up right, kind of doesn't matter because, I mean, the robot might behave stupidly, but it's not going to be too broken. And yeah. So, yeah, this is like in the prototype stage. Still, this game, basically getting this working is the sort of the final part of the prototype for it. And then I can make some decisions about the art direction and so on that I want to take with it and start to get it working properly. But it's going to be so satisfying when this is hooked up to these guys here. and able to control them. I might try and defeat these guys with, what have they got? They've got just a laser and they also are malfunctioning. So that's convenient for me. Let's see, what beats lasers? I think just charging forward with shields might be good. So let's try that. Just a bunch of blocking. How many long blocks can you do before your next spawned guy crashes into you? Looks like this guy's going to get collided with. Oh no, perfect. Oh, he got collided with from up here. So let's maybe stop these guys from cornering. These factories are destroyed, but these guys are just walking straight into the wall. I haven't even decided whether this should be sort of two-player, one-on-one, or, you know, could put more sets of factories all around the place, really. Multiplayer, or would it be just like one player, one row of factories, and then something spawning from just a bunch of enemies? Well, that seems to be working. They're just marching forward, blocking. This one's just lost its second shield, but it's taken off half that one's hit points. That one's got a damaged shield. Wait, do these guys even have lasers anymore? I thought they did. Do they just have nothing? They're just marching forward with nothing. Interesting. Oh, this is Boop. Boop is not properly wired up. So although Boop is covered in lasers, it just doesn't have any none of its actions actually work. So it just sits there malfunctioning the whole time. And it's just gotten lucky this time and survived because there happened to be two barriers positioned there. What's going on here? We've got shielding guys. I think we can beat shield guys by just having a bunch of lasers. So let's do cheap legs. Multiple lasers. And fire the lasers a lot of times. Let's try 8 times and see if that's enough to move out of the way before getting spawned on top of. Oh, gotta stop that guy walking over the top as well. There we go. Alright. Okay, that seems to work. I could even fire it. Well, there's a limit of 10 commands at the moment. The new routine will fix that. I can sneak in one more. Wait, what's happening there? Why did that not work? Just there. Oh, is it the mouse position? Or this position? Yeah, for some reason that last slot is just, it just doesn't seem to be working. Wonder if that's something to do with a limit that I've set. Anyway, doesn't matter. That seems like enough lasers to have overcome the enemies there. Oh, they just destroyed that factory. I think that was just repeatedly walking into the wall, so that'll do it. These guys are just taking turns and taking their time, walking directly into the enemy factory. Alright, these guys are doing well. Now see, this is a bit where it'd be really useful to have that routine So if I had them start, and then you've got to, so I could move them onto that lower area by having them turn right, walk down into there, then turn left. So then they'd be on the bottom row facing forward. Then get rid of all this stuff. But yeah, then at that point, they could start on their routine of marching forward, and marching forward anytime there isn't an enemy, and then anytime there is an enemy, they could fire the laser. They don't have a shield, so pretty much regardless what the hit points are, fire the laser. So basically, without that, don't even really need to unplug it because it's just going to follow. I do need to fix this up so that I can unplug the one that I want to unplug without having to unplug everything else. There we go. Oh, and that doesn't need to actually, that top one doesn't need to be plugged in either. There we go. So that's a pretty solid routine there, I think. Go to the correct row and then start marching along there, destroying stuff. But it could get even more sophisticated because then if there's a, if you put like a proximity sensor, then they could stop before they get to the wall, not crash into it, and then turn left, go to another label if they sense an object in front of them or something. So yeah, pretty cool. Guess I could have them walk some distance forward. I don't want them to change lanes. I want them to get to about here. Five steps, turn right. 1 step, turn left. 5 steps. Oops, I'm in the wrong place. Just do that. 5 steps. Turn right. Well, they can't turn right because they don't have the right type of legs for that. So let's give them standard legs so they can. Okay, so then we get them to turn right. Look forward. Oh, one just spawned. That one is going to crash into a wall. Turn left. And then just fire lasers. Yeah, that last one's just not working at all, is it? Oh, there we go, got it. Not sure what was wrong with it, but so what's this one got? Oh, that got both the fire lasers. So it's crashed into that one and started firing and exploded. Okay, so this one's probably going to just hit it directly. I don't know if that's going to be enough to overcome the enemy. Okay, let's try this one now. Let's give these guys some lasers as well. And I have them go straight down there and turn that way. So we need to turn right, forward twice, turn left, and start firing. Just that many times. they're not quite providing cover. If they took 1 or 2 steps forward, I think if I make them start by taking 1 or 2 steps forward, actually. I'll go 3 steps, actually. So 3 steps forward, then turn. This will be so much better with the new routine editor, so I should just get that finished. But I'll play it a little bit like this just to get an appreciation for the improvement. Okay, I've got to get them straightening out, and then they can start firing, and then those steps forward, hopefully they won't run into their buddies from the other factory. There could be a collision here. That is a collision. That's going to be a problem, because that's going to have them exploding. And I think I've got the same blueprint for both. Yeah, I have. So they're going to be taking the same amount of time to generate. So I've got to slow one of them down or speed one of them up. I'll just give that one some legs and some cheaper legs, but build more quickly. So I'll get that spawning really quick, and then I'll get them back to their old selves. Oops. There. That one's not able to turn, so it's gone into the barrier. So yeah, I've still got 2. I'm going to end up with 3 robots here. So I sort of haven't made any progress. Oh, they're still colliding. It's just a direct collision right there. All right. Slow that one down again. Or speed that one up. I'll just take one of these lasers off. There. And that will change the spawn rate. And then once they don't collide, I'll put its other laser back on. These guys are slowly destroying that factory. I get these just doing like a, basic kamikaze strategy. 2 steps forward, turn left, go forward, turn right, then go forward again a bunch of times. Oh, those guys seem to have successfully made their way there. Hopefully the timing hasn't been thrown out now. Ooh, just okay. We'll put that back and hope that it hasn't messed up the timing. Oh, no, let's run into that one. That's not good. Not supposed to destroy your friend by colliding with them. Those sensors are going to be very useful. There we go, that one got out of the way, and got out of the way even more by going into a wall. Wonder if that's going to work. Oops, did I not? Oh, right. Yeah, I need to remove one of those because they already walk forward once just from their spawning action. The robot spits them out, and then they just need 1 step. As long as they can crash into the enemy before the enemy gets them with the laser, then that's successful. And the idea is they're pretty cheap, so they'll spawn quickly. And unfortunately, they need to get the more expensive legs. But hopefully that'll give them an upper hand. Okay, this seems to be basically effective, I think, except they haven't actually hit the factory with anything yet. I think that thing needs to fire its laser again. So maybe not walk quite so far. And then fire the laser. I like swapping. Okay. So now you get to there and you turn there. So we're not actually shooting the thing. I think these need to go there, there. I make these go forward, get onto that lane, fire the laser a bunch of times, and then just repeat that, which will take them down onto the other lane. I don't think this one's got all of the laser shots. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Where we're getting is crashing into each other. So I think that one needs to go 2 steps forward, then change lanes, then probably a few more steps forward. Just get some lasering in there. Something like that. It's a bit of covering fire and into the wall. I don't think they've hit this factory. Oh, they have taken a little bit off there. Needs a fast forward button for when you've got everything set up. I don't know if Ronick is a reference to something, but if you were Ronick and you introduced yourself as Ronick without using full grammar, then you would say ironic. Could be way off on that. Who knows? Am I close? This kamikaze strategy is not working well. I think because they have got shields. That's just way too much hit points to... Oh, right. That's right. Now I remember. These randomize. I just kind of quickly made them randomize so to be a bit more interesting. So, like, at this point, those are pretty weak. They seem to be spawning with standard legs and nothing. So then when these guys come along, they're pretty easy to take down. That's just so slowly. Okay, 1 shield versus 2 shields. And they're very slowly destroying that factory. Oh, we could totally get like shield guys and laser guys coordinated with each other. If I just do 2 of those long blocks, so there's a space in between, I think the long blocks are equivalent of a certain number of laser shots, like 2. Could be wrong about that. The problem is they have to go down to there, and without having the ability to have this part of the routine separate from the walking forward part, it means that they're going to be very limited. They can walk forward twice. They can go down to that lane, straighten up, and start firing with their nothing lasers, which I'll give them. Give them some real ones, maybe 2. They're going to have different manufacturing times, so they'll have different spawn rates. Yep, that one just got walked on. What's this one doing? What? Oh, I see. It's got a turning around type of routine, and it's just going to keep walking all over the factories until it collides with enough of its friends to get blown up. It's gotten pretty lucky walking through there so far. It's patrolling. Yeah, it's spawned with half a routine. I haven't got any functionality to pause spawning so far. I could see some use for that. Oh, I see. Those guys end up walking into that factory there if they can make their way through the gauntlet of enemies. That one wasn't so lucky. Well, I'm up way too late. I better finish up this stream. But thank you for watching. Thanks for the subscribe, Ronic76. I'm on 3 times a week, so just check my schedule. A little bit up and down with the start times, but I usually stream for about 2 hours. So yeah, if you've got any questions or anything cool that you've been working on, then yeah, come and share it. And I need to go and sleep because I'm going to be writing a bunch of code tomorrow for my day job. Marklin Fernandez. Oh man, you say? Just that on its own? Or something else? Oh, is that related to the fact that I'm going to finish up the stream? What time is it? I'm already like half an hour over. That's far too easy for that to happen. I just need a computer that just turns itself off when I should go to sleep. Because, making games is more interesting than being asleep. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've been David from Fertile Pixel. I've been working on command bots using Unity and C#, and I'm going to do that some more because I really want to get this thing driving those robots. Why are they upside down? Good question. Because when I made the initial prototype factory, it sends the robot to the right. And so when I made these enemy ones, the simplest thing to do was rotate them 180 degrees, and then that makes them go to the left. So the short answer is because this is a prototype and I haven't tried to make it look pretty yet, just basically getting it working. I mean, I kind of got a bit carried away with some of the pixel art on there, but yeah, it's there's a lot of polish needed. Well, not even polish at this point. So basically, this is at the prototype stage. So this isn't even an alpha or anything. Like it's just literally for me to try out the concept, and especially I don't have a button for this. I need to manually do that. Especially get this thing working and see how that goes, and then get get some playtesting. It's up on Itch, but I haven't got any of the new routine editor on Itch. And yeah, then see what people think. And if people like the idea, then I can actually get into development and start making an alpha. Wait, would it be an alpha yet? Essentially, yeah, once I'm done with prototyping, if I want to make this game properly, I'll usually have like I still call it a prototyping phase. So basically building all of the systems for the game. So yeah, getting all the systems in place, but not getting all of the content in place and not necessarily getting everything polished. So yeah, then I'll go through and build all the systems, which there's a bunch of stuff to add to these robots. Like the blueprint editor is pretty basic right now. You can just add some parts on. It doesn't look particularly nice, but you'll also have the ability to kind of upgrade what chassis you're using. There'll be a set of upgrades where basically you can set them up to whatever level you like, but they'll increase exponentially in their cost. So that'll be the amount of energy, metal, and time that it takes to build them. And yeah, so it'll allow kind of a broader range of strategies. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to make. And then once I've got all the systems in place, which will include, I guess, making working versions of each type of weapon that's going to be supported, and like all of the parts. So yeah, not just shield and laser, but maybe a big sword that you can attach on the arms. Maybe a backpack that fires missiles out of it, or something like that, or a that slot there's for some kind of antenna on the top, which might be related to some kind of communication between the bots. Who knows? All of the sensors, but yeah. Once all the systems are in place, then it'll go into the production phase, which is basically filling out all the content. So updating all the visuals, making everything look good, creating all of the parts that can be attached, and getting all of the text and things like that correct, fixing bugs, and then right at the end, to just polish and fixing any bugs, and so on. So that's the basic idea. But yeah, I'm really early days with this one at the moment. Even though I've been working on it for a while, it's I need to do my day job to earn my money, and that way I can, live in a house and eat food and that kind of thing. Then I've got just grown up responsibilities to deal with, and then game development is just a handful of hours per week. So basically, each week I get probably less than a day worth of progress made on things. Just because of the amount of hours. If I win the lottery or somehow just have a big financial windfall that lets me not have to have my day job, then I pretty much just switch to this full time, and not this game specifically, just game development full time, and just be able to make much faster progress, which would be nice. But that's the dream. Speaking of dreams, I better go to sleep, because otherwise I'll be too tired, and that will be bad. Yeah, basically. If I die from this cough because I didn't get enough sleep, then I won't be able to keep making games, and that would be sad. So that's the main thing. All right, so I better sign off. Thank you again for watching. And I'm almost too tired to form sentences, so good time to finish up. Well, better late than never to finish up. Yes. Bye-bye for now. And I'll see you in the next one. Or the one after.